Welcome back. The time right now is 6:42. We hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday morning. Well, hey, did you know the number of children you have can actually have a big impact on your family's happiness? Kelly recently sat down with a family therapist and author who's helping parents figure out their perfect size.
Well, after you've decided to settle down and have a family, you have a big decision to make. How many children to have? Joining me now is the author of a new book, Building the Ideal Family Size, Dr. Alan Singer. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you.
So tell me about your book, Creating Your Perfect Family Size.
Well, my motivation for writing the book has to do with couples that I felt weren't being real careful about their family size decision. And I think it's a very important decision, and they have to make it carefully, not whimsically. About a year ago, the scientists at the Pew Research Institute interviewed 1,000 people, and they were parents, and they asked parents, well, why do you have a child? And the first response, 1/3 of people said, no reason, just happened. And as a family therapist, that really is unnerving to me. And the second thing they found out in the survey, when they surveyed families who have more than 2 children, 3 or 4 children, when they asked them, well, what's the ideal number of children to have? 1/3 of the people with 3 or more said 2.
No.
So they had too many, it seemed like. And that's why I encourage couples not to think about what's the ideal number of children, and not to get married and think how many total children we want to have, but to think one at a time. Is this the best time? That's the take-home message. Is this the best time to have a child?
That was one of my questions, as a matter of fact. Is, you know, what is that magic number? Is there one for couples? But you're saying it depends on the situation then?
It depends on the situation. The book title was meant to be catchy, Creating Your Perfect Family Size.
Sure.
And of course, the most common question in these 3 weeks since the book's been out has been, well, what is the perfect family size? You know, there's no perfect family size for Ohio, and there's no perfect family size for the United States. Each couple has to decide what's best for them. And the way that I do that is I put self-test questions. There's 95 self-test questions scattered throughout the book, so that as couples are reading the chapters, they have questions to ask themselves and to ask each other. Individual-based questions. How do you feel? How do you feel mentally, physically? Couple questions. How's your marriage? How's your family finances? And then if they already have one child, how's parenting for you? Do you like parenting? And do you think that you're doing a good job of it? Those are 2 separate questions.
You know, that's a really good point you bring up, because sometimes people think maybe having another child will help save the marriage. And how does this play in with divorce rates?
Well, there's 2 separate points there. I've never suggested in 3 decades of counseling couples to ever have a child to solve problem. I also, by the way, put a list of some of the points you're making on my website, familythinking.com, where couples can go and just look at some of the questions that people use. My hope, as far as the divorce rate, is that if couples were making more careful decisions, that would increase family well-being, because there's a known research statistic that marital satisfaction declines with each child.
If you could leave everyone at home with one morsel of advice that you want them to take home with this book, what would it be?
Make the decision with confidence, make the decision with determination.